This is my analysis of the kite runner. Amir lives in Kabul, Afghanistan with his father, Baba. His mother died during childbirth, and Amir feels as if he was the one responsible for it. She leaves behind a lot of books and literature, which he reads to his friend and servant, Hassan. Since Amir only has one parent, he yearns for his father's attention and gets jealous of Hassan, who gets more praise from Baba. Amir wants to impress Baba by winning the upcoming kite flying contest. Amir wins and Hassan congratulates him and catches the kite for him, but Hassan runs into the local bully, Asif, and his two friends. Hassan keeps the kite and is assaulted and raped by Asif. Amir sees all of it happen but is too afraid to take action, leaving him with guilt for the rest of his life. Scared of his guilt, Amir gets rid of Hassan by framing him for stealing, forcing him to move away. Later on, due to the Russian invasion, Amir and Baba leave Kabul to go to the United States. Amir and Baba adjust to the new life, and Amir majors in English in college. He then meets Soraya, and they soon fall in love. But a month after the wedding, Baba passes from cancer. They are both happy with their new love, but find out Soraya cannot have children. 20 years pass, and Amir gets a call from Baba's old friend, Rahim Khan, who asks Amir to go to Pakistan. Amir then finds out Rahim lived with Hassan and his family for a while, and reveals that Amir and Hassan were actually half-brothers. Amir gets angry and is then reminded of his guilt. So he travels to Afghanistan to save Hassan's son, Sohrab. He finds that Sohrab is owned by none other than Asif, now a Taliban leader. Asif then states that they will have to fight to the death for Sohrab. Amir gets severely beat up, but is saved by Sohrab. They run away to Pakistan and Amir is hospitalized. He plans to adopt Sohrab, but has legal trouble doing so. The lawyer advises one way to adopt would be to have Sohrab in an orphanage. This makes Sohrab feel betrayed, so he attempts suicide. Amir saves him and brings him back to America, where Sohrab now lives with Amir and Soraya. One example of foreshadowing is when Asif says, "This isn't the end for you either, Amir. Someday I'll make you face me one-on-one." The use of foreshadowing here shows how near the end of the novel, Amir and Asif actually do fight against each other. Assini uses this to show the reader who the antagonist is. One example of irony is when Amir says, "My body was broken, but I felt healed." Despite getting beat up by Asif, Amir feels as if he is healed by it, which is ironic because getting hit does the opposite of healing. But Amir feels healed because he is finally receiving the punishment he yearned for and is healed from his guilt. Assini uses this to show how Amir can now move on from his guilt. An example of symbols is when Amir says it was the look of a lamb when describing Hassan. The lamb represents Hassan and how he makes a sacrifice for Amir just to save his kite from Asif. But it may also represent innocence. Lambs are seen as innocent and pure, much like Hassan, and by Hassan getting raped by Asif, Assini shows that his innocence is taken away or sacrificed. Metaphors. Hassan getting raped by Asif can also be seen as a metaphor when the Russians invaded Afghanistan. It is similar because, like Asif with Hassan, the Russians took away Afghans' power. Hosseini uses this to show the importance of the problems going on globally. Connections. Text to self. One way I can relate to Amir is with guilt, especially being in a situation where you can do something right, yet don't. My mother was outside doing yard work and was extremely tired, and as I watched, I knew the right thing to do was to go out and help, yet I stayed in because I did not want to give up my laziness. Text to text. Othello is very similar to the kite runner because jealousy is present in both works. Iago, like Amir, is jealous of Othello and tries to get rid of him. Amir tries to get the attention of Baba, but finds that Hassan is impressing Baba more than him, so Amir gets rid of him. This shows that jealousy happens to everyone and has been around for a long time. Text to world. The Taliban terrorist group can be equivalent to current terrorist group ISIS. ISIS is a military group that follows a part of Sunni Islam. They have control over a lot of areas in Iraq and Syria where they enforce their ideals, a lot like how the Taliban are depicted in The Kite Runner. There are two major locations in the setting of The Kite Runner. Kabul, Afghanistan, which is a landlocked, mostly Pashtun, and is at war with the Soviets, and USA, a melting pot, economic opportunity, and touches the oceans, unlike Kabul. The story begins in Kabul, where Amir has social status and is more privileged than others, but feels like he isn't loved by Baba. Then after moving to America, Amir and Baba no longer have the status they had in Kabul, and Amir is humbled, but also receives more attention from Baba. America is seen as land of opportunity, and this can be shown when Amir goes to school and starts a new life. And here are some of my favorite quotes in The Kite Runner. The first one is, "For you, 1,000 times over." This is one of my favorite quotes because it shows how devoted Hassan is to Amir, despite Amir abusing his power. The second one is, a boy who won't stand up for himself becomes a man who can't stand up for anything. I really like this quote because I believe this applies to everyone. If you're too scared to defend yourself, you'll never get what you want in life. The third one is, my body's broken, but I felt healed at last. This quote is interesting to me because it feels like after riding along this journey with Amir for so long, he finally feels free. Some interesting things I found about the characters of the Kite Runner is that Amir translates to Arab ruler, and maybe this is shown in how he treats Hassan. Hassan means handsome or to be beautiful and to be good. In history, Hassan was the son of Ali, like in the Kite Runner, and the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Hassan is also poisoned by one of his wives and is considered a martyr by Shia Muslims. This can relate back to Hassan and how he sacrificed for Amir. Also, Afghanistan is a landlocked country and can be used to be a metaphor for how Amir was controlled by his guilt for not taking action. Then moving to America, which touches the ocean, he has buried the guilt and feels free. My final thoughts about the Kite Runner is, if I had to rate the Kite Runner from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7. After finishing the book, I feel happy for Amir and how he can go on and live his life guilt-free. One thing that bothered me throughout the book is how there's never moments of peace. Even when moving to America, the guilt of not helping Hassan haunts Amir. When Amir gets married, Baba is close to death. When Sohrab is finally saved, he tries to kill himself. The book makes me feel like trouble's always lingering around. Not to say this was a bad novel, it's just very different from my taste. I would possibly read a sequel to the book just to see how Sohrab grows up, because I feel like I couldn't get a good enough understanding of how his character really is. Some lit crits from the Marxist worksheet that were interesting is, Amir is at war with himself. This can be helpful in a Q3 essay because it is an important aspect of Amir. Another one is, Amir uses Hassan as an object, a commodity, in order to achieve his goals. This could help in a Q3 because it can be used as how Amir views Hassan. This lit crit is about the guilt one. And Baba, likewise, harbors the guilt of his sins. This could be used as a connection for Baba and Amir. And Baba's stealing is the worst sin speech to Amir. This can be used if it asks when a character tries to redeem themselves because of how Baba tries to save Amir from the mistakes he made. The last one is the Kite for Dummies. Hassan's devotion, credulity, and gullibility defy his judgment. This emphasizes Hassan's purity and innocence and can be useful for when a Q3 asks about theme. And Paper, a clean slate, a new beginning. Amir throughout the novel is looking to rid his guilt from Hassan. This could be helpful in Q3 because it's Amir's motivation.